In last week's episode, despite starting further back, we finally began covering new terrain as we have fun navigating Sea Creek. Even though a thunderstorm holds us back from making it to Wakonassin River, the ladies are in good spirits and having a great time as they look forward to more. Getting volunteers to join my outing is one thing, but to make sure the beasts can be awakened and ensure harmony, there is only one thing: good coffee and lots of it. It wasn't long before the women were up for coffee and having breakfast, both being essential on this trip. Good morning. This is day 3 and we are still on Sea Creek, but it actually will hit Wakonassin River just downstream, a little ways down. And it's was cloudy and thundered overnight, but the sun's coming out and the heat's starting already. Yeah, there is a certain charm tripping with 5 women. They've been amazing, but look at this. Yeah, certainly doesn't happen on a guy's trip. I don't know what to say. But this is the nature of the trip. We got a great fun group, and of course lots of laugh despite all the well, I wouldn't say there hasn't been too many hardships. The hardships of this trip so far has been the heat and the humidity and the bugs. We think today we might start the Portage, but we're not sure. We are trying to aim for Mink Lake and maybe even above that, and it looks like the water should be good to get up there. So it'll be a lot of paddling today, possibly upstream. So anyhow, we're just all getting packed up. Everything's wet from the rain and the dew. But yeah, we'll be getting packed and getting on the water again. It's warm enough to have a pre-dip before we even start the day. Or Marcy just wants more leeches. The previous day, Marcy found she had several leeches on her leg. You can see her removing them here. This alarm bell got the other ladies bending over to check their legs as well, which was hilarious. But as you can see from Marcy's pants, boy, did she ever bleed. But even this incident had some twisted humor, as only Marcy could ingeniously craft it. Swimming escapade, right?
Yes.
And you got how many leeches on you?
Swim with leeches.
Yeah. That's what you should call it.
Swim with leech tour.
Yeah. Okay, well, this was nail polish. That wasn't me, but...
No, that's actually paint.
Paint? Okay.
We can go.
Yeah, but she got like a bunch of them on there, and she was just bleeding like crazy. So that blood. All right, swim with leeches. Who wants to sign up? With that, we were soon back on Sea Creek, walking towards Wakonassin River. Getting to Wakonassin River was a major milestone for this project. It represented one of the corners of the loop as we would now shift our direction north from east. After the efforts of 3 teams, we were finally here. Wakonassin, baby!
They're making the waves, so it's a bit of an eddy up here.
The Wakonassin is a tributary of the well-known and popular Spanish River. The Wakonassin would also be our first and only river along our route of discovery. Being a larger volume waterway, it was nice that it was wide and deep, as we actually got to paddle again, the only downside being that we were moving against the current, but it was a fair trade-off. So we're making our way up the Wakonassin River. It's a beautiful river. It's deep for the most part, but we certainly are going upstream, so we've just come upon a little swift current, strong current, and we're just gonna walk this section up. We decided to have a break mid-river. So we're paddling some good current upstream. There's some swifts and shallows we gotta navigate, but sometimes we'll have to get out, but otherwise it's working our arms pretty good today. So we are about 600 meters to Mink Lake, so not much further, so we did pretty good going upstream. There's been some challenging spots when the current's strong, but we've been able to get through. And of course, other parts we're gonna walk. We just got some screaming going on, and yeah, there was a beaver under the water there, so kind of freaked her out. That's hilarious. Screaming beaver! As we approached Mink Lake, the pitch of the river increased and there was a lot of swift water and current, so we ended up walking most of it. So we're just coming on the bridge just before Mink Lake.
Sorry, I lost my helmet too. I just stopped having to.
As it was deep here, everyone attempted to paddle against the current, but it was futile, and we ended up walking the last stretch to Mink Lake. You ready? Just gotta get it deeper. Can't get my paddle in. Yep. Dig. Why don't you go over to the rock? Yeah, why don't you go to the rock and then you can jump in the canoe. Yeah. Okay. So we're just on Mink Lake. There's these cliffs right here, or not really cliffs, but just a bouldery granite outcrop. We're gonna hang out here, have lunch, take a rest, and so we knew that there's cottages right there and buildings, but the creek is just beyond there and it enters into another marsh, and that's where we'll be continuing on. But right now we're just going to take a break, have some lunch, maybe even go for a swim, and then get ready for the next segment. We fueled up and rested in anticipation of the next section, which would likely be significantly more challenging than coming up Wakonassin River. So we are just exiting, well, Mink Lake, and we're looking for the outlet of the creek that we're gonna go upstream on. We're just trying to find a better channel to get in. That's it? Yeah, I'm sure it is, but it's just I'm trying to find a better way in. Oh, a pike, big fish. Sometimes there's like usually multiple channels that come out. But it doesn't look like this one's any better, so they might have the right one. Okay. So this is the upflow of the creek that we're gonna make our way up, and probably be walking. There's a beaver dam just beyond here.
How many kilometers is this walk?
It's gonna be... No, at least 2 to 3. No, 3.
3 kilometers.
Yeah. Oops, sorry.
If we're lucky.
Same time.
Okay, yeah. Except for the stick stabbing me in the eye.
Okay, so I just walked in maybe about 100 meters. I was just trying to check to see if it's viable. I mean, the creek does have water in it, as you can see. It's just got a lot of brush in the way that could easily be cut and removed because it's not that big. The only one is that there's a tree down there. We'd have to cut some limbs underneath, but definitely a lot of water, enough to float a canoe or even walk a canoe. So I think we're gonna still try to attempt it. We just have to cut a little bit of the path at the beginning because that's where it looks like there was nothing. But as you can see, there's a lot of water. Oops, oh no, maybe not a lot of water, but there's enough water. This is the tree that we'll have to kind of trim and clean so we can bring the canoes through. But it is doable. Like anything, if you persist, you will get there. The question is, the will's there. So I'll have to tell the ladies and see what they say. Okay, so let's get back to them. The women chose the creek, as the other option was cutting a 2-kilometer portage through the bush. Nope. We're just going to make our way through this waterway, and then we're going to land drag for about just 10 meters to the next body of water, which is the creek, and it has more water on that side. No, this is Beaver Dam. She's got it pretty much clear. The ladies made quick work of cutting the thick branches off the down cedar to allow the canoes to pass through as we continued up the creek. We now entered a section which we affectionately called the jungle. It was thick and overgrown across the creek and near impossible to get through without cutting a tunnel like you see here. So this is what the ladies are doing now. This is the unnamed creek as we make our way to Mink Lake, and there is enough water, but there's a lot of vegetation in the way, and there's deep pools, as you can see. There's like in pasture ways, but we're chopping through, and the rear crew is bringing the canoes from behind. This spot in particular was exceptionally deep as it caught everyone off guard, as most of the area was shallow.
You don't need to hold on to it.
I just know there's a lot of branches here, so when you come through, be careful.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get snagged a lot. That's what's stopping my progress.
Okay, well, like I said, you don't have to carry the canoe. I got it for now.
Okay, it's helping me.
Just use it as a, yeah.
Oh my goodness. And then it's, okay, it's like a mountain climb here.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
My favorite things are those mud run obstacles. Oh, I love it when people have to pull me through because I can't touch.
Nice.
Okay, you have to climb
Yep,
out
I'm
that
up.
one.
Almost up. You're right, lots of branches.
Nice one. Due to the narrow waterway, we had 4 up front cutting a way through, while we had 2 behind bringing up the canoes. This way we could regularly rotate fresh crew in and keep the machine going.
Use part of the blade that's closer to you. You can move it down to the part of the blade.
Progress is slow, but we're making distance little by little. Because we were all busy cutting and clearing, I should have filmed the before and after. But here you can clearly see the wall of green in front of Teresa. We were basically a tunnel boring machine in the forest. Of course, some obstacles were either too big to cut or move out of the way, so we simply did a lift over. Between all the clearing and hauling, the ladies definitely flexed their arms that day.
Knock 'em all over.
So we are up Schitt's Creek with some paddles, but more importantly with pruning equipment. At this point, the women took a break after several hours of cutting through dense bush. It was exhausting work in the heat and being swarmed by bugs, but they were determined as ever. Like Sea Creek the previous day, despite a few deep sections, it didn't make sense to get in and out of the canoe, so we simply just walked through.
I don't even know what I'm
So these badass women right now is removing a wad of roots.
Okay, good enough.
Nice going, women.
Okay.
Just put the flopper up.
Do you want to, should we leave it in there? Should we pull it out or?
That's what we tried. You can have at it if you want. She's been at it for like the last 10 minutes.
Okay. We've got paddleable water. I just cut this tree. And the girls are just down below. And we're going to just lift over here because there's a beaver dam right here holding all this water back. So let's get the canoes up. All the way down there.
All right, so what are we doing?
We're gonna, I cut the tree here. So we've got some paddleable water here. It's kind of opened up, but the channel is really deep because of the beaver dam. So hopefully we should be able to make some good distance before it gets shallow again. So we've made some headway, did some paddling, but it's got narrow again. And now they've got some rocks up ahead. But that was a little bit of a break from all the walking and chopping and sawing. So we just came upon our little rocky part of the unknown creek or river. It's not a river, it's gotta be a creek. Just, if you want to give Marcy a hand, we're just gonna drag it right along the shoreline.
Okay. Are we on the rock there, Mark? So we have to kind of...
We'll just go slow. Perfect. Nice.
You want to just do a conveyor line up?
Okay. And I'm gonna hang here for a second.
It had taken 4 hours to cover 1.5 kilometers to this point. The going was incredibly slow, but there was an end in sight. The GPS indicated an unnamed lake 300 meters away, which was now our goal for the day. So we just started paddling, and look at this. We've just come upon a massive dam, and there's tons of water above. This is like what? Let's say about 7 to 8 feet?
Yeah.
Woo! So giving us an opportunity to start paddling some more. All right.
Beaver dam! Woo!
I love a beaver.
Beavers are my favorite animal.
Okay. A big beaver dam equals water for paddling, but it doesn't come easy.
1, 2, 3. One, two, three. Wait, we gotta wait for him. Okay?
That's a haul and a half. Damn.
Now we'll watch David do his own.
Yeah, right. I got it. Thank you. Wow, look at this. This should go. This was totally unexpected, and the flooded landscape a nice surprise, as we now hoped we'd be able to paddle the final stretch to the lake. There was still some obstacles in smaller beaver dams, but overall we were just happy we didn't have to cut our way through anymore. But there is always time for antics and laughs.
I'm not getting out in it again.
I should paddle or not.
Paddler! Paddle! You're gonna help the woman.
There we go. That was easier.
She's making you do all the work.
She was paddling hard, I felt it.
Yeah. It's all on film. With one last beaver dam, we finally made it to the lake, and now it was time to look for camp.
That seat had a bit of give to it on the back. Well, I'm looking at it, so I'm like, get down hard on it.
Okay, time to look for a campsite.
Here?
Yeah,
I thought we were going.
it's 6 o'clock.
Okay.
You want to keep going?
No, I thought you were aiming for the lake.
Underneath some goop. So here's our camp for tonight. Of course, no one has ever camped here, but there's enough open flat spots that we can set up multiple tents and get a buck shelter set up. But we love it here because we got the sun on this side and we got a little breeze to keep the bugs away. And man, this is like virgin territory. This is awesome. And we had a tough day, but an amazing day. And the girls really hauled ass today. And wow, this is the reward. Beautiful. You might as well wear like a pack. It's gonna be hard to carry it. So go right to the top where the log is,
Okay.
and then we'll just have to find some flat spots there. Nice job, everyone! It was another great day as we made our mark on the route by clearing away a huge section. It also made its mark on us by all the ardent fans that followed us along the way. Yeah, there were lots. Nonetheless, despite the bugs, the heat, and physical nature of the work, I was super proud of this team and what we were able to accomplish that day. But there was lots still more to come. The girl's coming on down off a steep hill. So a little further and we are on water. So currently we found this animal trail right here. It's a narrow trail, but it's good enough to give us like a trail to follow as we continue down through the corridor between these cliff walls.
Oh my God. Do you ladies have something to say for yourself?
I'm in love with Marcy's legs.
Leanne?
I'm a very tactile person. I can't help it. I see why you got rid of the name The Passionate Paddler.
Oh yeah?